Howdy everybody, welcome to round number 3, the ZRL Zwift Racing League, APAC Division 2 Cat B. We're preparing for another cracker of a race today. Today we're taking on the New York Park Perimeter Loop, 4 laps. I'll be doing DS duties, bit of commentating for my team today. See how they perform after last week's efforts. It was a tough week last week for them with the lot of sprints and no sprinter in the team. So this week's going to be interesting to see how we back up now. It's going to be a tough one. There is a sprint every lap. It does have top 10 across the line plus fastest through the section. So that will be interesting to see how the team copes with that. How many will stick together after they get over the sharp little pinches of a climb. We'll take a quick look at the route though today. All right, yeah, so we're looking at the route today. So we've got the New York City Park Perimeter, 4 laps, 39.2 kilometers, 507 meters of climbing altogether. So we've got the sprints, New York sprint, first across the line, M plus the fastest through the section each lap. Then we've got our normal finishing positions. Power-ups today. We've got the Anvil, increased weight for 30 seconds. Going to be great for the downhill, not great for anything else though. We've got the Aero, 15 seconds of Aero. We've also got the Feather. The Feather could be very, very handy to get over these little pinches of a climb. 15 seconds, 10% lighter. Interesting to see what bike choice people go with today. Will they go for the nice all-rounder Tron bike? Definitely the choice of bike if you have it. If not, you know, some nice all-rounder bike is definitely the bike of choice. Call outs today, we've got the Harlem Hill, 1.1 kilometers, average 3%. We've also got Cap Paws Hill. So we've got a few little hills and pinches to get over before we actually hit the sprint. These are our key points for the day. Starting at 0 kilometers, 1.2 kilometers, we've got a 600 meter steady descent. Then a false flat. 2.4 kilometers is where it's going to start to heat up. 300 meters, sharp, twisty descent. Negative 6% accelerating into Harlem Hill. So 2.8 kilometers in, we hit Harlem Hill.
Something's wrong with my finger. It's like, not right.
Change gears.
I don't know, this don't sound right.
All right, we're going to jump over to the race. And then jump into Discord and hit it up with the team and see how they're going. All right, so I'm just going to jump into Discord and we'll catch up with the team, get them ready to go.
How was the starts last week? Hectic or not as bad as?
Hey guys, how we doing?
Narrow's out. Get Matt.
Yep. I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Right, I'll just message you.
No, I'm in the pen. Got the stream. Got the stream going. We are good. We are good to go. So you guys ready? Ready for this?
Not really.
Okay. Perfect. What I'd like to hear.
Yeah.
All
Wait for
right.
the reserves to stick their hands up, but there's no hands going up on the chat.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go on mute. Tell me what you want, Matt, and I'll just follow your instructions.
Yeah, I'm going to go on mute too.
Yeah. Not a problem.
Get the fan dialed up.
On paper though, we're in good shape. I'm saying on paper, not in reality.
So paper again.
I'm looking at the rankings. in the rankings for like this race, like WMZ like basically dominates the top 20 positions when it comes to ranking points.
On the start line, I'm in the top 10. Looking good.
Yep, looking good.
Only downhill from here.
Let me just bring up my.
How do we discard that anvil if we don't want it?
Normally on your app, you normally have a trash can that you can get rid of it. But if you get the anvil, just keep it because there is like there's still a couple of downhills to use it on. And it can definitely be helpful. Like even like say if you've got the anvil and you're coming like to the first like Harlem Hill, like yeah, you're better off just like hitting the anvil like on the downhill section before you get to it.
Yeah, I guess we'll work it out. I've never ridden the course. Obviously.
Yeah.
You tell us, Matt. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's only really a couple of places to use it. But what do we got? We got 1.2 kilometers in. Is where we got basically that's when we got the first of the downhills. We have a 600-meter downhill. So if you did have the anvil, that's the part you would normally use it. Right, off we go. We are off and racing. All right, we've got a nice cruisy start here. Bring up the live Zwift power. We'll keep tabs of the team. What are we doing? Yeah, so 1.2 kilometers. We're going to hit the 600 meter steady descent. So like if you do have an anvil, that's a place to be able to use it. Then 2.4 kilometers in, we've got that sharp twisty descent, and that's where we're going to lead to the first pinch at Harlem Hill at 2.8 kilometers. So that's going to be our first part that we've got to be at the front, ready to go. And we're going to be like 1.1 kilometers, 3% average, but gets to like 10% near the end. So you want to be closer to the front once we hit that Harlem Hill. That's our first challenge for the day.
Can I have the fan on?
Doing my other duties there of turning the fan on for the lunch. All right, so about 200 meters, then we should start to hit this first little descent. So far, this group is nicely blobbed together. We do have no one from WMZ, but there is like 3 people off the back at the moment. Actually, no, they're not. They're more sitting with me as DSs. I know, actually, we do. There is a couple of people off the back. AHDR, TBR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 people off the back. No WMZ. Alright, so this just flattens out for a bit. Once we hit 2.4 kilometers, that's when we're going to get a sharp, twisty descent that then leads us into our first climb at 2.8 Harlem Hill. That's what we just got to be prepared for. Alright, so we're on that descent now. So 100 meters, we'll be hitting that first climb, Harlem Hill. 1.1 kilometers, 3% average, pinch at the top. Looking good though, team. We are looking good. I think everybody is just as scared as everybody else today. Nobody is doing anything. All right, nice job. And that's a nice, good pace up the climb. We're at the pinch of the climb now. So once we get to 3.8 kilometers, we've got a 400-meter descent. It's at about 5%.
They're with me. Matt, they're with me.
Are they? Oh. All right, nice work, guys. Group is all together. AHDR just dropped off another guy from the Bruisers. We're definitely starting to tail a few riders. No WMZ there. Mainly AHDR riders have been starting to get tailed a bit. Like it is stretching. So we're in it now. This is basically like a triple bump section, just 1.5 kilometers, just some bumps, but it's mainly flat. Once we hit 5.9, we're going to have another descent for about a kilometer. Starts sharp, but then eases into it. So this will be another good part if you have an anvil later on, so you're able to drop at the that point. By the guide, it does say the anvil is good to use as a lead up for the sprint. Strawberger has dropped off the back at the moment. Come on, but come on, dig in, Strawberger. We 5.9 kilometers. You do have like a downhill, so if you can get back on the back, you've got at least a kilometer of downhill. Starts at 9%. So if you just like hit it just over this little bit of a pinch, you've got 9% downhill, and then a kilometer to try and sit in and rest. So dig in, because you're not far off the back. That's it, Simon. Suck at that wheel. Sit on that Sharpie guy. Let him pull you back. But yeah, this is your quick little pinch, 9%. Then it eases to -3 for a kilometer. So try and get on the back of the group here. So you're just gonna have to like try and dig in a little. We're coming up to the sprint soon. So at 7 kilometers, we've got a 300-meter average of 3% ramp up, which then over the top kicks down into a downhill to the sprint. So this is your ideal if you have the anvil to use it at the top of this climb for an anvil into the sprint itself. So on 300 meters, we're going to hit that 300-meter pinch. So if you've got a feather, it's good to use a feather for the pinch. If you don't, and you've got an arrow or a anvil, use it at the top of the pinch. That's it, Brett. All right, so we've got Brett. Brett's going for it. That is a long sprint. See how he goes. We do have some TBR guys chasing the usual sprinting suspects. All right, so we're into the sprint now. So we picked up a few points there. The group is strung right out at the moment. There's definitely quite a lot of people in trouble. The group is very strung out. Looks like at the moment though for us we've just got Scott off the back. Everyone else is doing well and still in the group. So we're down one at the moment. At 9.2 kilometers, we've got a descent, about 250 meters, but then at 9.6 kilometers, that basically takes us up catfalls. 200 meter, 8% it tops out at. So that's basically the spot that people will probably try and hit for attacks. Bunch-wise, we're down to 28 riders in the front pack now. Okay, we've got one guy from TBR at the moment pushing 4.5 on the front. Just trying to push leading to this climb up cap hole. Alright. Not sure what people are sprinting for, but go for it. There's a couple of people going for attacks at the moment. We had two trying to go off the front, one from AHDR, one from TV. That's Valhalla, I think, isn't it? Yeah, Valhalla. So they have opened up a gap now, 4 seconds over the pack. They're not together though, they're not working together. So we've got two off the front. I wouldn't worry too much about trying to pull them back. Try and let the others in the pack be the ones to chase. Because these two aren't even together, they're not even working together, so they're two solos are going to get caught. So let the others do the chasing. You guys just sit in the pack. The amount of bumblebee in this pack is ridiculous. Oh yeah, these guys are being pulled back now. One guy's being pulled back. We just got one from AHTR that's still 2 seconds up the road. But he's only sitting on just over 4 watts per kilo. He's not going anywhere.
Which sprint is the fastest across the line?
The one that's during the race, not the one you're coming up to. It was
Huh?
the one that you just passed.
Okay, 6 that time.
What is it?
Yeah. I mean, I won't stay that way, but... Is that only the first time?
No, every lap.
No.
All right, so we're all back together. Your main sprinter to watch, Higgins, is still in the group at the moment, so he's managed to keep in there. He did get fastest time in the first sprint, so definitely will be one that you want to try and get rid of somewhere along the way, because he's going to struggle to be able to get fastest time on sprints if he's not with the group. So the next time up Harlem Hill will be at 12.7 kilometers. So we've got like say 800 meters to go before we're going to hit the next climb up Harlem Hill. So if anyone is feeling good, it could be a time just to start to put a bit of pressure on the climb to start to try and get rid of the sprinters that are left here. Yeah, so definitely if you feel like you've got a bit, feel free to jump on the front and just try and drive it a bit harder up the climb. So we'll be starting this climb in 350 meters. That's you, John. Big, massive attack up the climb. So one of the TBR guys has gone a bit on the attack a little there. He's pushed a bit hard, hit the front. All right, so we'll be starting that climb now. So just remember the back half of this climb is the 10%. That's it, Brett. Bit of pressure. It's starting to like stretch the group out. So yeah, bit of pressure on this hill. You could drop some of these sprinters. But you just got to make sure if you put in pressure on here that you go across the top and still try and push hard over the top. Make him actually really chase. But that Higgins, like he's sitting up the front with you guys. He ain't going anywhere. We're still all together here. A few people like tailing off the back again. Few of the AHDR guys. There's definitely a clear pack behind that's just hovering like a minute back. Just cruising along now. That's it, John. Just try and push up and get into that group. You got it. You're on a bit of a descent now, John. And he's got like these little lumpy parts for the next 1.5 kilometers, and then you got a kilometer downhill. So if you can push yourself and get on that back of the group, then that's going to give you your best recovery. No.
What does the ghost do?
0.3 watts. Is there good? There's a ghost.
The ghost. What does the ghost do?
You're not supposed to have a ghost.
I have a ghost.
Makes you invisible. Looks like they stuffed the power-ups today. Rachel got a ghost in her race.
Does it do anything?
Just makes you invisible.
Huh?
Makes you invisible.
Oh, I don't need to be invisible.
You can just use and get rid of it. Okay. All right. So John's dropped off the back now. He's blown a gasket. We've still got plenty of bumblebee action up the front though. Right, so we'll be looking at 16.8 kilometers is going to be our next ramp up to the sprint. If you're going to go for it again, Brett, maybe not go as early this time. Maybe another 100, 150 meters later. All right, so front group, we're down to 20. We've got 24 riders now. We're 50%. These sprinters from TBR, they're definitely feeling it. Like their heart rates are a lot higher than what yours are. So I'm pretty sure we'll see them start to potentially drop off after the next sprints. All right, so 800 meters will be hitting that ramp up again, leading into the next sprint. So the sprint line will be at about 17.3 kilometers in. So 16.8, so 300 more meters, and we're going to hit the ramp up, leading up towards the next sprint. All right, here we go. They're starting to launch into the next sprint. All right, let's check up with Brett. Of course, another top 10 there, Brett. Well done, well done. Almost a good spot now. Like if someone's got something, is to try and like push ahead to like really put the pressure on those two TBR riders who have been sprinting.
Out.
Because we're going to be hitting 1.6 kilometers now of undulation.
Not Andy, leave it.
Get out now. Okay,
Yes, go.
no, if you can find some. Out. Close the door, please. Hurry up. Close the door. Okay, close the door.
Too bad.
Okay. That's fine. Just go. That's it, Greenie. Put the pressure on. You got Chowman chasing you down. You got Yatesy chasing you down. Got a whole bunch of riders that did go out the back. But not the ones that you want to go out. So you still got your couple of sprinters there. All right, so the group has dropped down. We've dropped 10 riders just from that sprint. We're currently down to 14. A couple have come back on, so the group is growing again. We'll be back up to 20. All right, Scotty F's dropped off as well now. He's just been gapped off the back.
The push.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got the descent coming up in a second at 19.1. It's only a short one, but then we do have 19.4. We've got that climb up cap boards again to finish off the lap. So it's just got to dig in just to get over that climb. So hopefully nobody does anything crazy here and goes on the attack. We got Valhalla guy Bordeaux again. It's going on the attack over this climb. I swear to God, this guy must think that it's just points are on the tables for every time he goes past you, but they're not. So don't worry about chasing that guy down because he just sat up straight away once he got across the line.
No, out. Too bad. Too bad. Go. Close the door.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that guy off the front, it's like he thinks that there's a sprint every lap at the end at the start banner. It's because he just sprinted and then he just like set up straight away. So there's only one guy off the front, but he's coming back to the group. So we've got 20 riders now in the front group. You're still stuck with your couple of sprinters though. I'm quite surprised that they're still there. How you guys are feeling though? We feeling good?
Greeny's just surviving.
Yep.
Yes.
Sure. Bring it here and open it. Quickly, hurry up. Huh? They are different to the green ones, but yeah.
They're ones you eat anyway. You eat them all when I'm eating.
Just go.
Huh?
Alright,
You
hurry
eat
up
them
and go
off
and close
me.
the door. Quickly. Quickly, close the door. Quick.
Yeah, go.
Alright, so 400 meters. We've got like the 600 meter descent. It's a good time to try and get some recovery in. I don't really see anybody trying to do any attacks or anything now. They're more just going to roll for the sprints and then try and survive.
I'm going to be here all night. About to get light.
Alright, so we've got the next climb coming up at 22.6 kilometers. So we're 1 kilometer away from our next climb up Harlem Hill. So we've just got to try and play survival at the moment and just try and keep up there because we've got three in the top 20. Alright, so we're just about to hit the next climb in 200 meters. Right, so we're on the climb. Right, so we're finishing the climb at 23.6, so 600 more meters to go. You guys are doing good, doing good. We've got one from 2BR, two from 2BR, just putting a bit of pressure on the front at the moment. Nothing much though. Let's see if Greenie's got a marked. That's it, Adam, push back up. Alright, so we're coming up to the next sprint. Ramp up to the sprint starts at 26.7. So then at 27 kilometers we should hit the top and then start the sprint. So 26.7 kilometers will be the next ramp up to the sprint. Alright, you guys are doing good, doing good. Alright, we've got Andrew from the Bazookas. He's like off the front at the moment. He's just got only a second gap. It's just about to come back together. So 1.4 kilometers to go before we get the ramp up to the next sprint. 1.3. So just let the other teams chase down Andrew though. He's got a 2-second gap at the moment.
By the time she's super tapped, so it's ended. But I super tapped ages earlier.
Alright, just about to bring Andrew back. We've got 500 meters till we're about to start our next little bit of a pinch of a climb, leading into the next sprint. Let's do it together. Alright, we are onto that pinch now, leading up to the next sprint. This is Granny, you're still in the top 10 there. You just try and maintain that spot. Good job.
Oh man, people beat me. Last time.
Alright, this is the part you just need to dig in now because it's make it or break it time. So just got to try and push in. You just got a bit of like undulating at the moment. Up to once we get to 28.9 kilometers, we do get like a bit of a descent before we lead back up to the climb up to the finish line. We just got to try and sit in the bunch now. So Higgins is dropped at the moment, so he's struggling. He didn't go for that sprint though either, so
He went
what-
for MTS.
yeah, and then he blew up because he didn't even make top 10. But he's off the back now. He's going to go backwards. So don't worry about him for the next sprint or for the finish.
Didn't do as well.
He's digging in.
Is there a sprint and a finish, or just a sprint?
Not going to sprint anymore.
Oh, you got a sprint, then a finish.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got what do we got? We'll have a sprint at about 30. What is it
With
about?
the finish line hill.
Yeah, you got the final sprint up this finish line hill that you're coming up to, but then you also have the other. You got the sprint, one more sprint, and then you'll have the final finish. So from the sprint to the final finish, you're looking at only about like 2.5 kilometers. So if you're going to go for the final sprint, then don't push too hard on the I mean, if you're going to go for the finish line sprint, don't push too hard on the sprint.
We kind of have to otherwise we get bored.
Yeah, like hard enough to stay with the group, but not actually like going for the sprint. I mean,
Yeah.
and you should naturally just pick up like a top 10 in that next sprint anyway.
Yeah, got it.
Like there's only where are we? 16 riders left in the group. No, that's more than that. Sorry, I lied.
I think there's 20.
Nah, there's a few dropped off. I'm just trying to get back to the last spot. Oh yeah, there is 20 still. Because Higgins caught back up. But he's dropping off now again with Chowman. Right, so the group's down to 18 now. So you're right. You're on the back of the group now, Adam.
Yes.
You guys are doing good, doing well. This is a tough course. I think Chowman took Higgins off the back and then took off on him because Chowman's back in the group.
That's right.
because he was back with Higgins, and then Higgins dropped off, and then next minute Charman just caught straight back up. Probably the guys to watch again coming into this finish is probably that guy that last week, Buffoni from Sisu Racing, because he took off last week. He might be, because he hasn't done anything, so he might be a guy who goes for it again, for a longer one.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it's still watching from TBR Goldsworthy, because he's been up there for the sprints. So he'll be one to watch.
Not happy with 3 ghosts in a row.
Yeah, I don't know what to go with the ghost. It's not supposed to be ghost.
No Anvil, so got
Yeah. Replace it with a ghost.
2 O's
I
and
know
3
you got
goes.
it still, yeah.
Rubbish.
I can definitely see the ghost being more useful this week than last week. If you hit that ghost at the right time on the leading up to the sprint, no one wouldn't even know you've gone.
I needed that first lap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because when you went, if you had the ghost, they wouldn't have even seen you go, so they wouldn't have even chased you. All right, so 32 and a half. I mean, let me set these timings are wrong. 32. Yeah, so 32 and a half is the next climb up Harlem Hill. So in 800 meters, we'll be climbing up for the final time. All right, 150 meters. Last time up Harlem Hill. Unless you do another lap for a cool down. All right, we're on the final climb. Got Chamberlain from TBR. He's on the front pushing it a bit, followed by his teammate chasing him down. Nabe from Japan. Must have missed the team memo. Don't chase your teammate. But they've got a 2-second gap at the moment on the rest of the group. Juggernaut's chasing him down there. He's popped the feather. Yatesy was there on his wheel, but he's like kind of blown up a bit. He's heading backwards. You guys just got to stick around in that group, because that group will catch back up once we get over the top and we flatten out again. Just let the others keep doing the work to chase them down though. You guys just sit in and rest. We've dropped another couple of riders that are just off the back. One's definitely gone off. Shellman's gone. So Shellman's out of contention now. Brett, you're on the back. Alright, good job. Alright, so we just got the 1.5 kilometers of a bit of the bumpy section. 35.6, we're gonna get a descent, so a bit of rest. Then at 36.6, we're gonna be back into our last climb up to the last sprint. So it looks like we've still got 18 guys left in this lead group now. They can be good climbers, that's true. How we doing, Grim? How we doing, Doc? On the final lap here. Final lap. Nah, like, people don't have time to look at the right-hand side though, Grim. You only got time that you only really see the avatars when it's coming into a sprint. Then you only really see the avatar in front of you, and if it disappears, right. 1.6 kilometers till we're going to hit that last ramp up. We've got 600 meters for the 1 kilometer descent. It's your last chance at a good breather before we tackle the final stages of the race. So doing well. We've got 3 still up here in the top 18 runs. Let's see if we can finish it off and get a 3 in the top 10. Yeah, like the funny thing is like nobody's really gone for anything though. So it's been a pretty tame race still. Like the parts that you think that somebody would attack, nobody's actually really attacked at all. They've all just kind of, it's like everybody's scared and they're all just trying to sit in. There doesn't seem to be like anyone in this race that's really got a like good long distance stamina to really just push for it. Like the fact that like the best sprinter in this race, this Higgins from TBR, he stayed and only just got dropped on the coming up to the start of the last lap is when he finally got dropped. So he was there for 3 sprints, which is that's crazy to be there for that many sprints. All right, 100 meters and we'll be hitting that last ramp up for the final sprint. Got the usual suspects goals wherever he's going for it. That's it. Adam's up there. Good job, Adam. Top 10. What else we got? Brett was up there as well. Looks like you come across 9th there, Brett. That's it. You guys have got like a small gap at the moment over the chasing group, but it is coming back together. All right, all comes down now to the grand finale. 2 kilometers, 39.2. We're going to hit that 200 meters to go to the finish line. So 1.5 kilometers, we're going to have the descent leading down to the sprint. So rest up, get good positioning. Like, you know, Goldsberg is going to go for it, so he's going to be a good wheeler just to be keeping an eye on, and then just trying to stick with him if you can. Even if you can't beat him, at least you should get a decent finishing position if you can keep with him. It does look like we're down to about 13 riders now in the front. I think it's 13, no, 15, 16. 16 riders in the front. So 16 riders, and we've still got three in the top 16 here. Great work, great work. Let's aim for 3 in the top 10. So in 300 meters, we're going to be hitting the descent. Then 39.2, we're going to be hitting that last climb for the finish. So you've got your riders like dropping their arrows now for the last push for the finish line. Got Bordeaux from Valhalla's going for it. Greeny, that's it, Greeny, keep it going. Nice work, nice work. Brilliant job. Greeny was top 10. I think you were top 10 as well, Brett, were you?
Ouch.
Nice work, guys, nice work.
Oh.
I got 9.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Matty.
That's alright. Tough race, man, tough race.
Ooh. Tough even if you sit in and do nothing, it's still hard. Oh.
That guy from Valhalla, that Bordeaux guy, you went for it.
Ooh. Did he win it as well?
No, he didn't win. I think I think it was James did. Yeah.
David did awesome in 5th, right behind Goldsworthy. Not at the same time as Lau, but finished just behind him. I must have been 1,000 of a second behind.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what pops up on Zwift Power.
That's it. Who knows? Oh.
It's the mystery numbers, the mystery positions. You did well though, guys. Did well.
Yeah, good news is one.
Yeah, sort of. Thank you, Brett. Not sure about that.
Have a look at it. Boom probably did better than us.
I'd say so.
We did well. I think TBR got a lot of points in the sprints.
Yeah.
So they're probably second, we're probably third.
Yeah, you didn't give me any sprint points.
Or they were first, and Boom was second, perhaps.
In typical Zwift Power fashion. Yeah, typical Zwift Power Zwift Power didn't update the prims in the race. You can only see A-grade prims.
Yeah.
I got points.
Yeah, you picked up quite a few.
I think
I may have even picked up a top 10. And one of them was actually drafted heaps. I only got about 5th or 6th in the sprint, but I did a really fast time.
I think I got a 9th and a 5th, I think. my two. That's it.
Well done.
Yeah, he wasn't in
Well
our
done.
team though, Doc. He was in one of the other teams.
On this course, there's as many points available for first across the line as there are for final. Just going to go around for another 2 minutes to make it an hour.
Stuff that, I'm off. I'm done.
Can't blame you. Can't blame you at all. No, good race.
And I pushed my bike forward. My bike moves forward about 5 centimetres.
I'd like to say my calf muscles feel better, but they're fucking worse.
That's weird, yeah.
Day off tomorrow, I think.
Well, I've got a race in the morning
Oh, just,
with the Bears.
oh, good luck.
Just roll around that one.
All right. So for the
All right, boys.
for the prims, so first New York Sprint. Okay. So yeah, Brett. So the first two you were fourth in the sprints,
Yeah.
and we picked up on the first sprint. That was it. Just your fourth. The second sprint, you got your fourth. That was it. The third sprint, got David in seventh.
Nice.
And then in the last sprint, we had Adam in seventh, David in eighth, and you were in 10th in the last sprint.
So 7, 8, and 10 in the last sprint. Okay.
Yeah. And then overall, I'm still waiting for the overall to update. Hasn't updated still.
We're at fastest.
Fastest time.
Dave would have got 2 or 3 of them.
I don't think so.
Oh, Dave Higgins.
Higgins, yeah.
Dave Higgins.
Oh, Higgins.
Yeah, he got at least one. He got 2. Looks like he may only pick up two of the 4.
Oh, okay. It's for the fastest, yep.
But Goldsworthy will pick up at least one. It's hard to tell sometimes because you're looking for him. Goldsworthy will get at least one. You could potentially, Brett, might come out in the top 10. Might.
I think I come 1 in the top 10.
Because like Bordeaux from Valhalla, will pick up a couple of positions because he's got at least 1, 2, the 3rd and 4th fastest time, Bordeaux does, in Valhalla. But that's good though, because like Valhalla's not up there on the points. So if Valhalla pick up points, because ideally we just need to pick up points against the others, not the ones down the list. Like we won't come out on top points wise. I'm pretty sure it's going to be TBR, Valhalla are going to be probably the main ones up there in the points.
No, I'm ready to go.
But we could potentially come out in 3rd place
That's what I'm thinking.
on points,
That's what I'm thinking.
which is good. We would take that. So yeah, so James was first. So yeah, Bordeaux was second. Andrew was third. Goldsworthy was fourth. Greeny was fifth. Then O'Loughlin from Toon Bikes was sixth. And Zari from Valhalla was seventh. Lau was eighth. Yeah, Brett, you were ninth.
Just couldn't quite get him in the line.
And then Adam, yeah, you come across in 13th.
Good. Excellent.
Going down the list, John come across in 25th. Good job with John. Scotty came across in 27th. And I think the others are still out at the moment. That's good results at the end of the day. We've got like three or two in the top 10, 3 in the top 20.
Yeah, I should have done better. I should have been top 5.
Yeah, good job, guys.
Five in the top 30. 5 in the top 30.
You need to race again tomorrow morning.
It was good to see all those yellow and black jerseys in that front batch. First couple of laps, pretty intimidating.
Yeah, even at the end, like it was still very dominated by yellow and black jerseys.
All right, lads, I'm going to drop off. Thanks a lot.
That's cool. Appreciate that. Thanks so much. Good job.
Yeah, ciao.
I think this is Simon's result that we're waiting on.
Yeah, I've pressed the line.
Good job, man.
36.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Top
Terrible.
40. Top 40. It's not last. That's good. It's a tough circuit though. We did well.
It was a tough circuit.
Yeah. My standards were a lot higher though. So.
Yeah.
I was actually struggling towards the end, to be honest.
Like overall, like everybody was struggling though, because like nobody went for anything. Like normally it's like a circuit that you would have expected. Like if you had a really strong rider, would have gone for it on one of the climbs.
Well, normally
Nobody did.
I would be the idiot. I would be the idiot that goes for it, but I just didn't have it in.
Yeah.
I was worried that if I had it gone for it, I was going to drop myself, to be honest. That was normally I'm thinking, I'm in pain, everybody else is in pain, but I was thinking, shit, really dropped and didn't go for it.
Yeah, but you also
It wasn't just Harlem Hill. It was the hill afterwards, the drag afterwards, that really hurt.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's the bit that really damaged me. The second one.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Like on some of those hills, you kind of got to like push over the top, and that's when you start to really push the sprinters.
Yeah, I saw that Dave was off the back at one stage. I tried to push it to drop him, but he just climbed back and just didn't have it in.
I'm honestly quite surprised he actually lasted to the last lap before he dropped off. Considering like when you think about it, the other races, like last week's race, it was like a lot flatter. There's a lot more time to recover, but he got dropped.
He seemed to. I don't know how he made it up each of those hills.
Yeah,
and especially up the hill towards the finish line, because that was after the sprint. So he didn't really have any time to recover, yet he was recovering.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. He actually did well.
Don't tell him.
No,
I'm getting big. He's actually, you know what I hate most about him? He's actually a really nice guy.
Yeah. He's bloody strong though, that's for sure.
Right, he's got
like,
legs.
it's definitely not his course. Like even him trying to get the fastest time. Like when you jump onto like and have a look at the fastest time part, he only had one, but he was like a clear first for that.
Well, I saw him coming flying past me in one of the laps where he virtually didn't even get in the top 10. I think that's probably his fastest time. He came 8th or 9th or something. He came really low down in the sprint.
That was on the.
He was flying. It was that third lap, yeah.
Yeah, but see, that wasn't it. That was his. That was his. Apart from the last lap, that was his worst one.
Oh, really?
Yep.
The first lap, those three guys were just.
Yeah, so first lap, he was
Wrong,
he was a
Dave.
clear leader on the first lap. He was 8.154 seconds, and that Bordeaux
yeah.
guy in second was 8.698. Then on the second one, Higgins only did it. Higgins on the second lap was only the third fastest, and he did it in 8.695. And then on the the third lap, he was only the second fastest, and he did it in 8.999. So he wasn't.
Normally he doesn't have any more than. Normally he doesn't have more than 2 in him.
Yeah, true.
He have more.
So he only got the fastest time, and then so he was first. Then it looks like Goldsworthy was second. Then you got Bordeaux in third. Then you got Higgins in fourth. Then you got Bordeaux in fifth. Then you've got Barbara in sixth. Then you've got then you should have you in seventh. Then there should be, looks like Nabe in eighth. Then Nabe in ninth. And then looks like Bosco in 10th. So all the fastest times for the top 10 come out of the first two sprints.
The first 2 sprints, you say?
Yeah, first two sprints they come from. So yeah, so you definitely should have what did I say, 7th place in a FTS.
7.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Because the second sprint was so kind of like overall the second sprint was quicker for the a bigger majority of people than the first one. So the first one you had like Higgins was like this clear leader, but then the second fastest time would have only got 4th place on the second sprint.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
So next week we move on to the time trial.
Is it time trial next week? Is it?
Yeah, time trial next week.
Okay. Well, we should do well, considering we had 3 in the top 13. In a good step. What's the course?
Just checking.
It's flat. It's douche French, so it's the opposite of RGV. It's very
flat.
Yeah,
So it's more about
one
power.
lap, 24.1 kilometers, 136.6 meter elevation.
Yeah, I've tweaked a bit of my hamstring too, boys, up the second climb tonight.
Honda's beat me by 0.01 of a second.
Was that John? Sorry, I ignored your.
I said I've just tweaked the hamstring a little bit too, up that second climb tonight.
Oh, did you?
Is that
Yeah,
is
that's
that when,
what I was
is that when you went to like 0.3 watts per kilo?
Yeah, it just went wang. I went, oh fuck. So
Because you're
that's
just
all.
like there, just like off the back, and then I was just like, yeah, just
Yeah.
get push. And then next minute
Yeah,
your watch just went boom, basically to 0.
Mate, it just felt,
John,
it
you
just
didn't
felt
get
like a
off
shark
your
bite.
20 target.
Huh?
You didn't get far off your top 20 target. You got 25th today.
Yeah,
That's pretty good, mate. That's
I wasn't too bad, but it was just like a shark bite on that bloody top of the hill. I was like, oh, Christ.
So TBR's past us in the league table.
Yeah, they would have. But they would have got 2 I think they would have been them, then Boom, then us, and they were 1 point. They were 1 point behind us. Now they'll be 1 point in front of us.
Got Boom on
Funny
56. Boom's 56. TBR's
Boom is
55.
the same as last year. Boom's actually our worst enemy. They're
Yeah.
our nemesis in this court.
We're
This
on-
thing,
we're
they
on
always get in the
53.
way of between us and other teams.
We're 53 points. So we're two
And
off.
TBR's 54.
No, 55.
No, they can't be two.
So TBR won that round, 20 points. Boom was
Yeah.
second on 19.
Yeah.
Valhalla was third,
Oh, they beat us to that.
and then it was us.
And what about Hollow overall?
Oh, Valhalla overall, don't worry about them. They're only on 36 points because they didn't get any points round one.
Why? Did they have not enough, was it?
I think so,
Not
yeah.
enough.
So that's pushed us down into third position now.
What that does, that puts us more ahead of Bazooka.
Yeah, we're 3 points ahead of Bazookas. So yeah, Boom is.
By rights, Boom should win the whole series, and we should be fighting with TBR for second.
Yeah, so
To be honest with you, if we beat TBR, TBR is a slightly on paper better team than us. So if it's to be on par, we'll come third overall. If it's to be ahead of par, we'll come second, and it should become fourth.
yeah. But we are lacking points though, because like I'm not there and I'm not sprinting, so we're missing
I know,
these
that's-
points and stuff. So.
TBR are missing it. Yeah,
That's what I looked at last week. I looked at last week's and I was like, and I definitely would have picked up like some FTS points and all that, and it literally was like the difference between like moving up. I think three. No, it was. I think the
Yeah,
points that I could have
right.
picked up, we would have at least worst case come third last week. Would have been our.
And you know
worst
what?
case.
Andrew Blair actually had a good sprint on him as well. So Andrew, we're missing Andrew Blair with that sprint as well. Andrew Blair's probably our second best sprinter.
Matt, you just order my pizza?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm on my last one.
That's
The
just
late
hungry.
play ball.
Order me pizza.
Well,
Righto, boys. I'm done. I'll catch you later.
All right, good job, everybody.
Wow. So Boom
boys.
is still one
Catch you
point
later.
ahead of TBR.
Yeah. It's getting close.
All right, mate. I'll get going.
Yeah, no, it's good job though.
Thanks for night. Hey, how you feeling, mate?
Getting there. I did a ride earlier. I did a couple of digs, but it's more like when the heart rate goes up and you're starting to breathe a bit more. It's like I can kind of feel it like in the chest.
So if you
Like-
weren't an asthma, you probably wouldn't notice.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I'm getting there. I should be good by next week. I felt better riding today than I did yesterday. So I'm just trying to make sure I don't push it too much, and then like so.
No, you
I'm,
go too.
I'm just trying to get back on. Because that's the thing. I'm just trying to get on and like just keep rolling the legs over, so I'm doing something, so I don't lose too much fitness, and so then I will be fine when I do get back in. So we should be good next week.
Yep. Sounds good. Catch you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries, mate. Catch you later. All right, everybody. Appreciate you all jumping in today. We'll finish up here. That was a good race by the team. Looks like we didn't quite get enough points that we needed, so we've moved to third place overall now in the series. But actually, let me see if I can quickly bring it up. Yeah, so we've moved up to third place overall now in this series. So we only picked up, only got fourth place overall in that round. So we've definitely been struggling now without having any sprinters on board in the last 2 rounds. It's really hurt us. We'll see how we go next week though in the time trial. But appreciate everybody jumping in today. It was good. Until next time, we should be back on tomorrow again. We'll probably get on earlier tomorrow though. Australia Day tomorrow here, so we have a public holiday. So Rach and I will get on sometime during the day. We'll do stage 5 of the, what do we call it? Tour de Zwift. We'll knock off stage 5. So until then, I will catch you all later on. So have a good morning, evening, night, day, whatever it is, wherever you are. Have a good one.